Hi, I'm Dr. Mike Jones, and you are watching Let's Talk. University of California student Angelica Alexandre is here to tell us just how the pandemic has impacted her as a senior. Welcome to the show, Angelica. How are you staying negative in the midst of ever-increasing numbers of college students who are infected daily on college campuses?
Well, I actually really enjoy that the university that I attend, they've actually been doing active testing and requiring it for any of the students who live on campus, work on campus, or are attending in-person classes. And they're also offering free testing to anyone who's an enrolled student, and I believe to staff members as well. So that's definitely been useful and has been a really good way for the campus to monitor the amount of cases. I myself don't live on campus, and I also work remotely as well as attend classes remotely. So I'm not really around anyone else on the campus, and due to the current climate, I have pretty much maintained that social distancing, and I keep a very close-knit circle, as well as I just choose to use Zoom. I think that it's a great way to still communicate with my friends who live out of town, as well as my family, and then I'm not putting anyone I care about at risk.
Absolutely, very good. Are all your classes online, or do you find that class engagement, content, and interests are the same as when you were in person?
Yeah, so all of my classes are remote, and they were as well for the last quarter. Um, and it's been quite an adjustment.
I'm
Um,
sure.
yeah. My first quarter with remote classes was right as the shelter in place started, and most of my classes weren't prepared for that yet.
Hmm.
So it was very, very rough because they were taking classes that were meant to be in person and kind of throwing it into an online platform.
Yeah.
So that was very hard to be engaged with, and I really struggled. This last quarter, they've had more of an opportunity to plan out the courses, and so it's been a lot better. I think I've actually had the opportunity to become more engaged with my other classmates as well, because some of my professors have set up a very active discussion where we're using like the discussion boards provided through Canvas. And in the past, I wasn't a fan of those really, but I've noticed that when they're requiring that you are, actually responding to each other's posts and not in the simple, oh, I like what you said, but actually commenting, and relating it back to your own post. It's been very, very useful, and I'm a lot more engaged this quarter than I was last time. So
Mhm.
it's been a big change.
So, would you say you would take a virtual or online remote class in the future if it were an option and not mandatory?
So for me myself,
That's not a trick question either.
yeah, so I still really enjoy in-person classes.
Yeah.
I'm a people person. I really love the engagement that you get in a class setting, and I just don't feel that for me, I'm getting the same level of involvement that I would get in an in-person class. So, um, if I had to, I would take one. I'm a lot more comfortable with it than I was before.
Yeah.
Previously, if you had asked me, I would have said no, never, not gonna happen. Now, if I had to make it work with my job and that was my only option and it was the only way to kind of make life easier, then I would be open to it. But I would definitely prefer in person.
So, what advice do you have for underclassmen who might find themselves in a similar situation as yourself next year?
Yeah, I would really suggest that a lot of underclassmen find what works for them. I've learned that time management has been really important, especially because now when you're doing remotely, you don't have a specific time that you have to be there for a lot of classes. You
Yeah.
really do need to learn what works well for you in order to manage yourself. because you're having less of a structure and life is already a little crazy. So you kind of need to give yourself some kind of structure so that you can keep your goals in place and do what you need to do, because we're there to go to school and it's a confusing time, and having that structure makes it a little easier.
Yeah.
And then also just take all the opportunities that you have in order to engage with your peers, your professors, your TAs. Like make sure to attend their office hours if you can. I know sometimes it's hard with a work schedule, but if you have questions, make sure you're sending emails, because you're not the only one who's confused. When if there's something not clear on the syllabus or you're just not sure about, you're definitely not the only one. And we're all navigating this new type of education. So I think just know that you're not alone, and it's okay to ask questions and reach out if you need help.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more educational news, exclusive interviews, and more.